Dr. Bartlett. So I know you head up nutritional science for New Skin, but if we have a look at all the products that are on offer for New Skin, am I right in thinking that, well, there must be an awful lot more than meets the eye?
Absolutely, yes. When you look at a product, you're really looking at the tip of the iceberg, right? It just takes such a long time for your favorite product to really get to the launch pad. It involves at least a couple of years, sometimes 2 to 5 years, and about 50 experts have their fingerprints on the product by the time it reaches you. So as you can imagine then, with all of that time and all those people, it costs quite a lot to do product development.
I bet it does. That's extraordinary. 50 people, I had no idea. Okay, let's hone in and take, I don't know, one product as an example. How about the Perennial body moisturizer? I know that that's a very popular, well-established product within the New Skin portfolio. How was that star born?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that one up. So years ago, actually, one of our scientists, Dale Kern, was studying in a very obscure area. He read a paper that described these perennial plants. These are the ones that live for several years, and they rejuvenate and renew every spring, right? So perennial means sort of forever or renewing. And it's a curious thing, probably something you don't think about, but when something is in the earth, it's very easy for it to become an energy source or a food source for all of the things that are in there, the bacteria, the viruses, all of those bugs, and they are trying to attack it from the outside. And of course, any living thing also tends to age from the inside and degrade from the inside. So these scientists wondered, how does the bulb resist all of these attacks upon it? And they actually discovered one molecule within the bulb that was responsible for protecting it and helping it to renew itself every year. And so that then became the nucleus of their idea that perhaps this ingredient would be good for the skin.
So that was the idea.
Right.
One nugget of information.
Yes.
And then what happened next? I suppose it goes to the laboratory.
Exactly. So, once we have then the research scientist, a particular type of scientist that's delving into all these different areas, can put now together an ingredient specification and send that to a different group of scientists in the lab that are called formulation chemists.
Right.
So these guys are somewhere between science and magic, really honestly. They have to create a product that feels good, that has a beautiful aroma, that is not too thick, not too thin, not too watery, not too oily, and that protects the active ingredient that we've just discovered for the whole of its shelf life. And this is not easy. Now, keeping it stable, having all of those qualities forever so that it doesn't separate out or do anything like that. So, this requires a lot of expertise and also a lot of different tries. And I, having spoken to the scientists that developed this, realized that it took somewhere between 20 and 40 iterations, so different formulations before they finally hit on the perfect formulation that is now Perennial.
So they've got the perfect formulation straight on the shelves?
I wish it were that easy. There's still a few other hurdles that it has to pass by, right? So the formulation will be sent, the final formulation, to the lab, where the lab then does stability tests on it. We have chemists there that are analyzing the ingredients and making sure that they stay stable, but also the microbiologists, right, to make sure that it's resisting sort of infection and things like that, making it a good formulation. We have the marketers that are working with research and development to, what's the perfect name for it? In this case, we call it Perennial. Who knew? But also working on, what sort of packaging. We have a group of supply chain managers as well that are looking at the price of the ingredients, the sustainability of the ingredients, and also the material that the package should be made from, and all of those manufacturing standards and specifications. We have a group of legal experts and regulatory experts that are making sure that the claims that we make and the ingredients that we use are acceptable in all of those countries that we work in. So as you can imagine, you're starting to get a picture for all the people that have their hands on these products.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? I think our scientists, well, your scientists need a round of applause, don't you think? It's incredible.